afraid of my affections. You could drown in your own storm. There's no need for reservation. No one else can see. After some examination, man, I think that you've got what I need. It's really alright. It's really alright. It's really alright if you don't love me. What's that look of consternation? I'm completely in control. So if you're thinking of evasion, there's something you should know. Well, I wouldn't say I own you, but you're a lover without liberty. Which would you rather face, that cold-hearted landscape or me? What's that look of consternation? I'm completely in control. So if you're thinking of evasion, there's something you should know. Well, I wouldn't say I own you, but you're a lover without liberty. Which would you rather face, a cold-hearted landscape or me?
A dramatic beginning today with a storm coming. I thought it was just, appropriate. Now, I sound so loud to myself. It's probably allergies. Hello. Have fun. We'll be able to chat. Although it looks like I'm a little bit behind myself. I'm not showing up yet. Well, that is very strange. Oh, good. For a minute, I wondered if I was alive. All right, we have a couple things happening today. I want to make this something that kind of moves a little bit more in nature. So I'm going to make it green. I know it's a strange choice. I'm in a strange mood. I guess because we're watching spring fade away. Like spring has long faded. It's now winter. Well, going autumn. Autumn is fading. That's what's fading. I knew something was fading. No snide comments. Okay. I don't know, I'm just attracted to a green I normally only use for highlights. But with this dark chocolate roof, and this is a Nomarian house, which means it tends to use weird colors, depending on who's doing what at the time and what part of Nomaris you're building on. Because Nomaris is well, it's my planet. I love it there. I go there when I can. But, I'm on Earth right now, and there you go. So Namaris is not an industrialized planet. They had opportunities, but have turned them all down. And they prefer an agrarian lifestyle. And they lack for nothing that's worth having. And I think one of the best things about Namarians is wizards not counting their sense of humor. Namarians have a very mellow outlook on life. They're mostly farmers, potters, or librarians. They're very into education, but it doesn't take the same form as our public schools. Everything is indeed public, by the public and for the public. All wizards have to take a turn at working in the library, even though they're not actually librarians. A Namarian librarian seems a real straight sort, except during festival times, especially what we would consider autumn festivals, harvest time. Well, harvest time is also fermenting time. And they are very fond of fermented beverages. And their recipes are generously shared all over the planet. So, getting drunk as a librarian does mean something. Oh no, Maris. Hey, isn't this green just a happy color? It's like sunshine on a cloudy day. Even though I have already gone onto the brown. Now, today was another loss. The thermostat won over the maintenance guys. Tomorrow it should get fixed. Now that we're fairly sure what the problem is, I'm at the top of the building. It just needs more water in the boiler to make it to my apartment. So I think that's very funny. So it's just not getting up here the way it's supposed to be. So it will be sometime tomorrow, which is good, just in time for snow. Maybe. Well, we're expecting, I don't know, I've got to look and see. Maybe it's tonight. We're expecting some snow. Hello, Charlie. Snow and followed by rain. Quite a bit of rain, so even if we were to be expecting much accumulation in snow, there would not be a chance that it would be staying on the ground. expecting like 1/2 to 3/4 inches of rain. That's a significant amount of rain. Doesn't sound like much when you hear people getting flooded with many inches at once, but it is. Let's see if I can just add some little highlights. Gonna have to put a little red bow on here somehow. So how goes it? You sitting there writing me a book? I'm glad you made it because it's going to be a short stream today. I'm going to be Skyping with my friend at 3 o'clock my time, because he is 5 hours ahead. So I do want to speak to him before he goes to bed. I love my tea. My tea is yummy. Dry faster. I want to put the rest of it on you. You need some touching up anyway. Okay. Well, we have something else to do in the meantime. Oh, we are getting close to the bottom of this, but I am learning to cherish it. I guess my crafts have been a little rough on my or something, or maybe I'm just not getting enough protein this month. I have changed my diet a little bit. Not intentionally, just it's worked out that way. My nails, I broke 3 nails today, and I can't even tell you what I did other than laundry. Like, how did I break 3 nails? I had to go running for a file before I came on so I could get the jagged edges off just so I don't cut myself. Because they may have been broken, but they certainly were not dull. Okay. This is the touchy bit. We're going to use, oh, dare I? No, this I can't replace. We're going to set that aside. Excuse me, but this one is cheap, but good. Excuse me, but also ancient. The enamel's all cracking off it, so I think we can use this. But this is the stuff. Oh ye static electricity. And there it goes. And there it goes again. I don't know if you can see this. But this is an anti-magnetic set of tweezers, stainless steel. They used to use these in the factory, and they're very, very nice. And even that's getting charged. Well, these are charged. They're just sticking to everything. You might not see it, but they're standing up and flying around inside the plastic cap. Now, like this said, freeze it. I forgot to freeze it. I can't put it in now. Well, we'll be careful. What about a book? I wanted the most efficient way to dissipate heat. From what? What's the material you're trying to dissipate heat from? Oh, well, I can't help you. I'm not familiar with the game. Air. Fan. Something to absorb it. Ice. Metal. Eee, a little too much there. Hola, Mr. Setter. So it's like, what is something that contains liquid doesn't explode with only temperature? That doesn't make sense to me, but I think a balloon. Because I've got balloons on the mind. If it's above 500 Celsius, oh God. It would melt. It wouldn't explode, it would just melt at that temperature. So, Mr. Sater, I got a hole drilled in my pan today, and I got it hung up on the wall. And I'm so happy. So very happy. Here. Turns out a good one is a human body part, all right. How's my day? Good luck, Charlie. And Mr. Sater, thank you. I'm going to bake another cake tonight because the guys who work here did not get any of the cake I made. And I really feel for these guys because they've made, what is it now, 5 or 6 trips up here trying to address the same damn problem. So they're going to come back tomorrow now that the main guy is pretty sure what the problem is. Basically not enough hot water to get to me. But he can't just blindly add water to the boiler. He has to have somebody up here monitoring it to make sure the pipes are actually filling with the water, because he let out even more air today. Yep. I know already that the main guy likes my baking because, generally speaking, whenever I bake something, which has not been often, but brownies or the one time I made cookies, I do make sure that people who work here actually get some of it because goodness, they're working here. So, yeah. Oh, and I like our new assistant property manager because she is trained, and she is enthusiastic, and I'm hoping that she doesn't find out that it wasn't lack of enthusiasm that finds us having things in disrepair, but a failing in the contracts between management, the owner's management side, and the people they chose to do business with that aren't maintaining the equipment. today we went into the laundry room, and you know how washers and dryers, like under the door, there's a little panel, right? You know, the panel comes off, or usually it's very smooth. It shouldn't look like it could just pop off, but it can come off. So somebody had obviously taken it off, for what reason, God only knows, and then tried to put it back on upside down. So of course it didn't fit. And there's a gap like on this side of this, it's like, and there's two holes at the top, like, shouldn't those holes be on screws or something? It's like, what the hell happened here? So, maintenance guy, I know his name, but I don't want to just like keep using it. Just, he comes in and he figures that out, and it's like, he had no idea why would anybody freaking do that. Then we've got another mystery, which might be a very bad ending to it, but there's a whole load of laundry got abandoned in the dryer, and it's like work clothes kind of stuff. It's like, what the hell? Nobody who works could afford to have this much of their wardrobe forgotten. Somebody better start checking on the tenants. Yeah. This is not a place where you can ignore the tenants, because the majority of them are old. Yeah. God only knows. Now, I don't want to sound like I'm bitching, because I'm really grateful for my apartment. I love the shit out of my apartment. I honestly do. I do not intend to leave it anytime soon in any condition. I really just love it here. But there are drawbacks to this apartment building living, because you can't control people. And you can't get everybody to follow the rules, and, you know, some things can be, you don't want to be one of those people that makes a big deal about little things. And then you find yourself facing something and you go, oh my God, somebody's got to do something about this. We have a woman that has a cat, or maybe two, I can't tell. But she only changes the litter once a month. And when she opens that door and brings it out into the hallway, she's in the elevator with it. Now, there have been occasions when some of it's spilled. And she has gotten every square mileage she possibly could get out of this kitty litter. So, through the hallway on my floor, into the elevator, down, it's like, and then into the recycling room. There's only one barrel for used kitty litter. And it's really not that bad if people do this regularly, you know. But oh my God, she doesn't. And today was one of those days when we're all choking. It's like, it smells so bad, but because of the chemicals used in it to help deal with smell, it doesn't quite smell like a normal kitty litter box. But the way your lungs feel mentholated when you inhale the fumes, it makes you realize what it is you're inhaling. Yeah, I know you know, because we've had cats, and you have cats, and you know how important it is to clean, and you never let it build up. I mean, God, and 2 cats, how could you, right? 2 cats every day, you have to take care of that box, or boxes, because they're big boys. And I know what it was like with my babies. And I cleaned that box, you know, multiple times a day, because it was just your standard box. Didn't do anything fancy, you know, but I had to work only 6 feet away from it at my desk. So it's like I kept that sucker clean. Yeah. Just horrible. So it was so sickening, and I know I wasn't the only one, because when I was coming back hours later, I could not help but hear another woman on the floor in her apartment yelling about the smell. And even with her accent, I recognized what the hell she was talking about. It's like, whoa. You know, I don't blame you because I'm going to have to say something. They need to. Now, we take care of things very diplomatically here. No one goes running to point the finger at anybody, even if you know for a fact who is the offender. What you do is you type it all up on a nice little flyer and you leave it on everybody's doorknob. So everybody gets the same flyer. And it's up to you to straighten up and fly right. Right? I know. It's like, how does that cat not go and piss everywhere else? Because, you know, my cats, if it was a litter, if they did, oh my God, I've had my prima donnas in the kitty litter box where if there's one little poop from other cat, they will use the outside of the box just to let me know how pissed off they are that, hey, turd over there, turd. See, turd? Not my turd. Get that out. So yeah, cats are very, very finicky. So you gotta know that poor cat is not happy. So, yeah, we need to have somebody say, you need to change this more often and bring it downstairs. I mean, she may be doing this. This is something I have seen people do and I want to punch them. It's laziness. It's not the cat. They clean the litter box, but they take all that stuff and they put it into a container and they don't take that container out. It sits there until it's and it just piles up, and at the end of the month, when the whole kitty litter bag is empty, that's when they bring it out. And that's when it's like it's completely intolerable. I mean, it's a health hazard. That's why I can't have cats. I'm not supposed to have a kitty litter box. It's not the cat. It's the things that can be in the feces. I don't know if it's in both feces and urine, but I know that I have to take the same precautions as pregnant women. No sushi, no kitty litter box. Oh yeah, the building is owned and they've got a manager, but our manager is not here. She just disappeared after 4 years and we're waiting for a new one. We have an assistant one that's just getting used to everything and she's trying to keep things going. But my rent check hasn't been deposited yet. They've all been collected and everybody's been checked off, but nothing's been put in the bank yet, which is confusing as hell. When I go to look at what's in my bank account, it's like, you know, you have to keep minusing in your head. So it'll be taken care of one way or the other, but I just, today was just a reminder that it can get so nasty. Now, there was a dog I petted, cute little sucker, 2.5 years old, and his mommy inherited him, I guess, or got him while they're kids in college or something, but she's taking care of this dog. And I was down on the ground before I went grocery shopping. That's the one I think I told you before. I was on my hands and knees, not completely on my knees, you know. I'm down there mushing him because he looks sparkling clean, right? And I'm mushing his new face, and then I stood up and went, the smell on my hands from that dog, and I realized this dog, it doesn't look it, but it's like he puked and puked and puked or something. It's a horrible, you know, that kind of horrible smell. I'm going, what the hell is going on? I couldn't even go in. As soon as she's gone, I'm like, I'm pulling bacterial wipes out of my shopping bag thing, and yes, that's exactly the one. That's the one. Well, I got to meet her and the dog again, and this time he did not reek. And I said, does your dog have a stomach problem? And she said, well, no, I don't think so. What makes you ask that? And I said, well, I wanted to point that out to you because the last time I saw you, that smell, it was coming from, I believe, his stomach. He was very clean, so I know you're taking good care of him. But that can happen when a dog can get an upset stomach, and they can drool on themselves or they just wash themselves, and it's going to all be horrible because stomach acid. It turns out he has a chicken allergy. He can eat turkey, but if he eats chicken, he gets diarrhea. I told her that's a food allergy and you want to stop giving him chicken. It's remarkable you have to say those things out loud. But I made sure I did, because that poor dog, you know, I mean, you know what an upset stomach feels like, and you know, if someone doesn't know the signs of it. I've had enough dogs and cats. It's like, yep, no, I'm not a vet, but if this continues, you do need to see one. Right? How do you not notice it? But some people have impaired smell, especially as they get older. And don't forget, there's been COVID. We've had a lot of people here with COVID. And while not everybody got the first ones, Delta is where I've been getting them. I've been hearing the worst. COVID-19 and Delta, the Delta variant, losing their sense of smell. Yeah, so he's actually the diarrhea dog. And that's because he has an upset stomach. So every time he gets chicken, he gets a sick stomach. Poor thing. A lot of people figure chicken is benign. And I didn't have too much of a problem, but then I had Sanka. And Sanka was like my heart dog, my last dog. And he had food allergies. He was the first, actually Biscuit, our first rescue, and Biscuit came, that's the one I've got the picture of. Biscuit developed Frito foot, but we took care of that. Then he was the first time I ever saw a dog get hot spot. So we took care of that. So I learned a lot about that. But Biscuit, other than that, was the cleanest smelling dog and the cleanest dog. And he lived on the land for 1.5 years before we rescued him. He was just amazing. But Sanka, who I believe was born right after he got killed, because we rescued him 6 months later at 6 months old. Sanka became sensitive to like everything. Everything seemed to bother his stomach. We went through all the vet foods, and you know that routine. Like Titan has, is Titan or, I always want to call him Timothy. Oh yeah, it's a dangerous thing. Absolutely, Charlie. Your cats had the same kind of an issue, right? Allergies, the food gets more and more expensive as you try different combinations of proteins and carbs and all. Teddy, thank you. I don't know why I keep blocking his name. I guess the Titan, and that should be an easy one, right? So yeah, we never did. We got to the point where we were almost ready to buy kangaroo, because they do export a kangaroo protein from Australia at $50 for an 8-pound bag. Now, 8 pounds with cat is bad enough. 8 pounds with a dog, a 50-pound dog. That ain't gonna last a month, I'll tell you what. So we just had to really watch his treats. The more natural the food, the better he did. And I knew as soon as he started scratching every time, it's like, oh, that one didn't work. I mean, he'd get reactions within an hour or less. But he was such a happy-go-lucky dog. Very bouncy. Wasn't always easy to tell if he wasn't feeling well. Oh my God. Oh my God. How long does that $140 go for? Yeah, you have highly specific issues with your cats. You need very special medicine, food as medicine. 140. See, there's no freaking way I could afford that. No way. I was thinking about a hamster, but I already decided, even if I could and people were willing to help me get the $300 that I would have to come up with for the building in order to have a hamster, I have to check with the doctor. I might not be able to have a hamster either because of their bedding. And of course, I keep things really clean. When I did have a hamster, when I had mice, those things got cleaned every single day. I didn't let them sit in their own anything. Oh my God. That's still expensive. Okay, Charlie. 3 months is not too bad. At $50 to $80 a bag for Senka, and that was back in when we were still living in North Carolina. So that was what, 20... I left there in 2009. So, They are. I've had, did I have one or two? No, I've only had one. Somewhere I've got a picture of it eating, I think, a Ritz cracker, or maybe a piece of cheese, or maybe a piece of both. I mean, my pets, of course, are extremely well fed, and little rodents. I mean, you want to keep feeding them because they're so cute. And then mine was a little chubby sucker, but he did get a lot of exercise. I had 2 balls for him to roll around the house, or her, actually. But they only live a year and a half if they're really well taken care of. And it lived about almost exactly a year and a half after I got it. I woke up and it just went to sleep in its little bed and did not wake back up. So that was heartbreaking. And it's like, can I go through this every year and a half, especially after I invest so much? But the picture I have is my first husband and I playing Scrabble. We used to do that every night, play game. And so we're sitting there, and we've got a card table in my studio. And I've got, I don't even remember what the name was, probably Goldie or something. Which is funny, I had a dog named Goldie, but I didn't name her. So little Goldie sat on the table with the Scrabble board right here, and she would sit there and nibbling whatever it was I gave her. And I got a picture of that. It was cute. Oh, enjoy. One of the things I love most about that little hamster was how it loved exploring the house in its balls. It loved those little balls. But because, they can't control their pee, I was always switching balls so I could wash it out. I didn't just let it roam around and ignore it, because that's a terrible thing to do to a critter. Just talk about a tiny cage. But it did enjoy it. It looked forward to it, and so every day she got lots of exercise and explored the house. But it made her extremely bold at night. And when she chewed through her cage while we were sleeping, she emptied the cat's dry food dish completely and brought all of it into her little nest. She filled her wheel. I had a plastic Habitrail thing, and it had a wheel that just came out the back, and she chewed all the way the outside of it, so it fell. But it fell against the wall, and I didn't realize just enough room for her to squeeze through. And she went and got all that cat food all night long, back and forth from my studio where she was to the cat dish in the kitchen. She went through by 2 cats, one who was really interested in her. And just when I got up, all of that damn food was in the wheel. The wheel was just stuffed. It was funny, fucking funny. I love seeing them do stuff like that. It's like, how she did this. And of course she knew the way it must have been very frustrating for her all those times of going over there to the cat food bowls, but inside her ball, and she couldn't get the food that she could smell through the holes in her running around ball. And I never put that together. That, oh yeah, she can smell all that food. She's right down there next to it. Oh, that's looking pretty. I don't know how well it looks on the you see the gold? I want the tree to look like it's lit up from the back, like a giant window. I got the paper bags for that craft I sent you. And someone else in the building had a similar idea, and she did the Amish ones. The problem with those, and the reason I immediately eliminated doing those, even though they're fun and pretty, is you can't fold up and be put away. And storage would be sucky. So I like these snowflakes because you can fold them up and they'll be flat for storage. Keep them free of damage and all that. So come on. Down, down. Get there. Let's try that. It wants to stick to the wrong thing. Thank you. We'll have to go over this twice. I wonder what I'm having for dinner. I have not explored my own dinner yet. I did 3 loads of laundry, and I have 1 more to do, but I'm not doing it tonight. It's not quite enough. I almost dyed everything blue. I have this beautiful full-length peasant dark blue skirt, and I had washed it several times, but it had only been washed with black leotards, and I did not know it still had dye in it. And I went and washed the thing with something else. I ended up dyeing my lace tablecloth and something else. I was like, well, I got it out of the something else, but best I was able to do with my tablecloth is make that blue turn brown. So I was just about to put it in the wash when I realized that in that wash was my very, very pale yellow silk pillowcase and a couple of other things I definitely did not want to dye blue. I just stopped myself in time and went, we cannot wear this and it's fine. We can wait until I've got something else that I want to dye blue. I love that skirt, but it was not properly fixed. The dye was not fixed. And I don't know why that is, but maybe the reason why I was able to acquire it so inexpensively. Like, oh yeah, we don't mind selling this whole batch. And we've got nothing but complaints about the dye. Ooh la la. Some big piece there. Come on. Oh, wow, wow. Woohoo. Look at that. How much that opens. Oh, isn't that beautiful? One big sheet. It doesn't happen all that often. Let me make sure I got plenty of sizing down. Actually, if I was making this with real gold leaf, this would not be acrylic, it would be a sizing. That's what they call it, which is like a special glue for holding gold down forever. You know, it's been so many years I do not remember what it's made out of. But it's forever. Oh my God, you want to hear the coolest thing ever? Okay, maybe not ever, but it's damn cool, and it's happened to my sister. My sister has been studying the violin. According to her, she's not good at all. However, her violin was going to cost like $400 to fix and make it playable, and she doesn't have that kind of money. And she said it's not worth $400, so I'm definitely not going to put any money into it. So her violin teacher said, well, you can rent one, and we've got some, we're going to have some to rent, or I don't know if it's an organization or whatever, but she rented one. And she and her teacher just read the label inside, and the label inside says who made it and when. And she's holding on to a violin that was made in 1776. Now she knew, and the teacher knew, that it was over 140 years old or 170 years old. But then they were able to read the label. 1776? So she's not going to be able to continue renting it. It's going to have to go someplace or someone that takes care of things like that. Her teacher knew about it because her teacher said there's actually, they preserve these things and they hire violinists to periodically play them to basically keep them alive. But they're not allowed to be played, like go somewhere. Kind of like Lizzo playing the flute, the historic one, which was the most awesome thing. I love how people flipped out about that too. And she's really good. She's a professional flautist. She's classically trained, and everybody freaked out because she played an antique. We know why they really freaked out. I bet some of those guys are saying, I bet that slave owner is rolling in his grave, letting that mostly naked black woman play that. I hope they choked on that. I'm such a bitch. But I do like Lizzo, and she's very talented. You gotta have some strength of character to be yourself in this world. And she does. All right, we're going to let this dry overnight because, as we know from experience, rock and metal don't breathe or absorb fluids, and we don't want to screw this up. Okay. My, we have a lot of that. What am I going to use that on? Idea. I have an idea. First, I must move this stuff. Make sure my knees still bend. Ow. Okay, well, one was reluctant, but it did it. We don't need that right now. We need this. Over the river and through the woods. These are the scary woods. Oh, this stuff is so cool. I really like this material. Oh, Mr. Satyr, or the Satyr, I'm sorry. Yeah, my eyes are not serving me well, are they? The Satyr. I came across a tutorial while I was doing something before the show. And it's making a blanket with that super, super thick stuff, but doing it with your fingers, no knitting needles and no crochet hooks, nothing. It's literally none of that. It's just your fingers. It's got that shows how to do it. It's like, of course, this is brilliant. But of course people figured this out. No need for a, well, what we think is necessary to make stuff. It's like this. Nope, it's easier than you think. Oh, this is good, but it's also done. Okay. We have to do the small ones go in the distance because they're far away. I just have to kind of put these out here first, and I have to see what I like and don't like. Hey. All right, so I'm going to have to just glue them down if I want them to cooperate. They're not going to do anything else. Okay, I am committing to this. Oh, we definitely have to start showing. Hey, don't be bad, be good. Or Santa will not come and help you repopulate your forest. We don't want you there. Oh dear, I got this stuff on my hand. I was trying to avoid that. And now it's definitely too late. I have to go wash my hands. This stuff is hell to get off later. You would think for a water-based, plasticky kind of a thing, it'd be no problem, but... Yo, that was a quick dinner. I am going to be leaving in just a few minutes. You are fast. Does that mean it was good, or you were just in a hurry to get done with it already? I don't taste the food, I just wolf it down. Okay. The thing about this that I forgot is the fabric on the back of the cork just sucks this stuff up really fast. And sometimes it just disappears and doesn't do much as an adhesive. But we will conquer this problem by getting more on my hands like I just did now. Okay. Stay. We do want a three-dimensional effect, but I do need you to stay in place, damn it. That'll work. All right, we get some skinny brown one here. I am definitely streaming tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday. I'm running out the clock here. I gotta get some of this stuff done. So yes, I will be. I'll be here. Here it is, 2:59 p.m. That's my cue. I still have some of this. Let me just put down one more piece, because I want to use up this medium. It's just too expensive to lose here. I'll be there. I want to try making that blanket now that I saw you can do it without all the needles and stuff. Because I'm good with my fingers. I am not so good with needles. Your cue. I go to sleep mode. Make it good sleep, darling. Sleep well. I see you all tomorrow. Wait a second, where's my mouse? I can't go without my mouse. I zoom away. Okay, darlings, thank you so much for being here. I'll be back tomorrow. Sweet